All right, my fellow entrepreneurs, real estate investors, wholesalers, real estate agents, small business owners, we're going to talk about your most favorite subject today. Do you get that cringe in your heart and your spirit when you start thinking about the time of year it is here in this video where it's tax time? And you got to start adding up all the expenses, all the different things going on in your business. And it creates that little bit of resistance, actually a lot of bit of resistance. I was talking to my buddy the other day. I'm just leaving a local coffee shop here. This wasn't today, this was the other day. And I was asking him if he got started on his taxes yet. And he said that he's like, man, this time of year with taxes and all that, it makes me want to, quit being an entrepreneur and go back to the workforce, because it's just so much extra responsibility, the accounting side of the business and things like that. So I get asked a lot, and particularly, and we're going to use the example of wholesaling real estate. I get asked a lot about taxes, about all of that type of stuff. So I wanted to just pop on video here. I'm about to go pick up some lunch, and I want to give you a couple words of wisdom. This is not legal advice. This is not tax advice. I'm just going to tell you what I kind of do personally, a few things that I use that definitely helps make the process a lot less painful. Of course, it's still not the most fun thing to do in the world. However, I've gotten so much more efficient at it over the years of being an entrepreneur, of being self-employed. And so for those of you who are considering going full-time as an entrepreneur, going full-time as a real estate investor, wholesaler, you might find some valuable nuggets in here. And that's the goal of me doing these videos for you, is to share some wisdom. So again, for those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Stephen Howell. Welcome here to the Productive Wisdom family. In fact, I'd love to start trending that. I'd love to get a little hashtag going. So let's type in the comments below. If you're loving these videos, feel free to browse the videos on my channel. And if you like what you're hearing or you don't like what you're hearing, I'd love to hear from you below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what future videos you want to do. And let's hashtag Productive Wisdom Family. That is the name of my blog, Productive Wisdom. You can go check that out at another time. So anyways, let's get back to the topic here, taxes. So, one of the questions I get is, Stephen, what about taxes? How is that calculated? Let's use wholesaling real estate as an example. Basically, any money that you make as a real estate wholesaler, whether it's $10,000 or $300,000, it's added as earned income. Okay. It's added as earned income. And, excuse me guys for the background, the videos. I'm here, like I said, leaving the coffee shop. But, so whether you earn $10,000 or $300,000, you add that on as earned income, there's going to be $0 taken out for taxes. So when you go to the title company and let's say you're following step by step, let's even say you've done the very, very wise thing and you've purchased my ultimate wholesaling blueprint, which is in the link below. So you have a step by step game plan of exactly what to do in your investing business. And you get laser focused, you implement step by step what I'm teaching you to do. And let's just say, after 2 months, you do a $10,000 real estate deal. And at the title company, I show you how to you don't have to show up to the title company, you can get a bank wire, but the first few times it's important to kind of understand how it works and things like that. So you're going to get a $10,000 check or a $10,000 bank wire, okay? And so at the end of the tax season, you do need to claim that as earned income. So however you save that, and if you have like a business account or an LLC, you don't need to overcomplicate things. But, as you start making money in this business, it is wise to, set up it is wise to, set up an LLC, to have a business bank account to keep your funds separate. That is a tip that, I definitely would recommend. So as far, and I've done other, and I'll do actually a future video for you guys on specifically, an easy way to get an LLC set up and that type of thing. I've used the LegalZoom. I've used Rocket Lawyer. I've also paid attorneys, a lot of money, which I don't recommend, especially as you're just getting going, until you have a really, really big business and you need multiple levels and umbrellas. There's no need to go. I know some of these fancy like seminars and stuff, they'll try to push you into getting an LLC setup that costs like $1,500, and it's like, that stuff is ridiculous. You don't need that right when you're getting going. Anyways, so basically what you'll do is you'll count that $10,000 as earned income. Now, what I did personally is, what I would recommend is you have to kind of decide, depending on your tax bracket of where you currently fall, are you going to be bumped up a couple tax brackets? So it is wise to to maybe save 20, 25% or whatever tax bracket you're in, because you are going to owe taxes on that $10,000, right? Now, if you're in a very, very low tax bracket, like I was when I first started, that first year or two it was a little sloppy for me. And what I did is I just basically went to like a local H&R Block. I had a LLC. I had, the money that I made, and I worked with them. And that worked okay for me for the first couple of years. And now where I've evolved into my business is just word of mouth, talking with other entrepreneurs in my area, in my city. They recommended a lady that's worked for the IRS for 35 years here in my local area. And so I go to her and she takes care of me. They do my accounting. As far as payroll, so I'm set up with an S Corp and all sorts of, cool stuff there. However, the word of wisdom that she gave me is she said, like, when I first came to her, I just had an LLC, and she said, Stephen, and, the threshold I'd recommend is 6 figures. When you're making over 6 figures, then you set up an S Corp. So I was already making over 6 figures when I came to her. And so she's like, you know what, it's going to make sense for you to set up an S Corp. And then you're going to, pay quarterly payroll and stuff like that, which again, you don't have to worry about until you have like an S Corp and stuff. But again, this is not legal advice. This is not tax advice. This is just kind of my story. So that's kind of the recommendation there. So when you're just getting rolling, don't let it overwhelm you too much. Definitely put a little aside in a savings so that way you don't kind of screw yourself come tax time. And then just work with somebody local, ask around, ask who other real estate agents, really high-end real estate agents use in your area. Ask other investors at meetup clubs who really takes care, who really takes care of them for taxes, who's efficient, who works with entrepreneurs and small business owners. So that's what I want to say about that. The next thing, I want to give you a couple tools that I do use day to day in my business that are very, very helpful, that have helped me get very, very organized. So one is called Mileage IQ. So that way you can easily on your phone track all business miles. Like when I zip over here to the coffee shop or get lunch, or if I need to go to Best Buy or, pick up something to record videos or whatever the case is, I can write that off as a business expense, and I track it. I used to get stressed out like, oh my goodness, do I need to keep a notebook in my car and, try to write down stuff? Like, it was just kind of a convoluted mess. So that app has helped me a lot. So what I'll do is at the end of my day, I'll take 2 or 3 minutes and just classify, and you can bulk classify the drives that you do, and it records like your odometer and it uses the GPS in your phone. So that way you're tracking your accurate mileage, and that's really, really helpful. The next thing is, one of the biggest things that I finally got set up with, I want to say last year or the year before, was QuickBooks. I used to just have the really like low end one, like I think it's like QuickBooks Self-Employed for contractors, but it was not robust enough. So I got QuickBooks. I think I paid somewhere in the ballpark of $30 a month. And I went into my tax accountant and one of their assistants. I worked with them for hours, and they set up, all my business accounts, personal accounts, tax accounts, all that, linked it all together. And now, like, I literally drop things into buckets. Like if it's an advertising expense or a website expense or different expenses, I'm able to just, at the end of each day, I'm able to drop things into buckets and classify it very, very easily. So now when it, is tax time, I literally can just print off a couple reports and take that into my tax expert who does, the taxes for me. And it's been an absolute lifesaver. So definitely recommend, and I'll link below for you to check out QuickBooks and stuff like that. So that has helped me a ton. In the beginning, my friend, your entire focus, I don't want you to worry about any of that stuff, right? I think you would gladly agree that if you want to go out there and make $100,000, you'll deal with the ramifications with taxes. Like, yes, it's annoying. Yes, it takes a little bit to figure it out and to teach yourself how to be organized, because it's not always easy. But then once you go through the pain of setting it all up, it is pretty easy to stay on top of it. Okay, so I've came a long way with that, and it does feel refreshing to kind of know, okay, here's my monthly revenue, here's my expenses, everything's broken down, everything's tracked, everything's accounted for. It's a really good feeling, and it took me some time to get there. I want you to know it's very, very normal for the first year, for the first couple months, for the first sometimes few years of an entrepreneur's life. The tax and the accounting can be the biggest, it can be a very big annoyance, and it takes a little bit of time to get there. So I hope these tips have been helpful for you. But the biggest thing, my friend, that I started to say a second ago that I want to finish is just your entire focus needs to be on producing, on marketing, on generating leads. If you're a wholesaler, if you're a real estate investor, you need to focus on getting your first deal done, or getting your next deal done, or getting a system in place, getting leads coming on a consistent basis, becoming a better communicator, a better marketer, having better branding, talking with people better, building rapport better, becoming a better negotiator, and developing, your personal habits, your health, your productivity levels. All of those things need to be your focus, right? Your focus needs to be on getting results. Don't let the tax stuff worry you, because at the end of the day, my friend, if I told you right now, hey, would you like $20,000 or would you like $10,000? But the thing is, you're going to have to pay taxes on it. You're going to figure that out, right? I think anyone would gladly take 10 or 20 or however many thousands of dollars and figure out the tax side of it. And a lot of times by going to a local meetup group, by asking family, friends, your circle of influence, or maybe your circle of influence isn't very good and there's nobody you can turn to, if you keep seeking, if you keep going out in your community, like I said, to the different real estate meetup groups, find out what other realtors are using, you will eventually find the right person who takes very, very good care of you. So anyways, guys, Mileage IQ and QuickBooks are the two things that I use daily to help, organize and track all those expenses. In the beginning, I set up a very simple LLC for like $185 with Rocket Lawyer. And again, I've had a lot of students get started, go get that first deal and then maybe set up an LLC. So I don't want to give you any excuses like, Steve's talking tax stuff now. And I can't, I can't get things going until I get a business bank account and an LLC and I get a tax person. Don't let this video be an excuse. I want to record this video because I do get a lot of questions. Steven, who do you recommend for taxes? What type of an LLC? Like, do you have to withhold taxes? That type of thing. So I think it's helpful to know. But then I want to give you that encouragement to continue taking action and going after those results. So my friend, I enjoyed making this video. Now I'm going to go grab some lunch now. If you like this video, definitely be sure to smash that like button. Browse the other videos on my channel. Go ahead. I do read and respond to comments, so I'd love to hear from you below. Let me know what are some of the most stressful parts of you being a new investor or an intermediate or even an advanced investor. What's keeping you stuck? What would you like me to do future videos on? Hashtag productive wisdom family and comment that below. And when you subscribe to my channel, which you should totally do, Be sure to hit that little notification bell so that way you get notified when I have future videos coming out, because I will be doing interviews, case studies, and some different contests here in the near future, and I want you to be aware of that. And if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check out my step-by-step real estate course in the link below. You definitely want to have a game plan, and that, my friend, is definitely the place to start. So that's all I have for you. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Take care.